All right, so we're good. Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to Women's Football Chat. Tonight, we have yet more Women's Champions League action. We've just been trekked to a thriller in Turin as Juventus took on Benfica and beat them 2-1 with a goal in the 86th minute, a winner in the 86th minute. An incredible game of football, and hopefully we'll see similar levels of drama here. It's a repeat of last year's semi-final. Arsenal take on OL Lyonnes. Slightly different setting for tonight's game, Harry. Two prestigious clubs, the defending champions against the 8-time champions, the most successful side in Champions League history against the most recently successful side in Champions League history. But a slightly different setting of Boreham Wood.
What a lovely place these two clubs will be playing in tonight, but what a game this is going to be. Great to be back with the Champions League, new format, more teams and more excitement. And these two sides facing off in match week 1 is exactly what we wanted to see from the new league phase system. A massive game, early doors, and a lot of pressure going into this match. Arsenal, it has not been the start to the season that they wanted in the UWCL, but as the reigning champions, they will look to get back on track tonight, and it would be a big victory if they were to go out and beat Lyon, who are going to come out swinging. They have had a perfect start to the season over in France, and under the management of Jonathan Giraldez, they look absolutely formidable. So it's going to be a brilliant match of football that could go either way. I can't wait to see it. We're either going to get a resurgent and brilliant performance from the Gunners, or we're going to see Lyon prove why they've won this title 8 times and why Jonathan Giraldez is probably one of the best managers in the world. But yeah, it's going to be a great game. Gunnosaurus is ready for it. We're ready for it. And I think there's a lot of people who are looking forward to this match a lot for many reasons. It is going to be such a good game.
Yeah, indeed. Well, OL Lyonnes come in great form. I'm still struggling with that name. Can we go back to calling them Lyon, please, Michelle Kang? But OL Lyonnes have been in great form this season. 19 goals in 4 games in the league. Only 3 conceded. But there will be a concern that they've only kept a clean sheet in 1 game this season. Is that slight defensive fragility something that Arsenal could take advantage of this evening?
100%. We know how good that Arsenal attack can be, and I think that, Arsenal have done pretty well so far this season. Yes, they've had some games where they've looked a bit struggled to create at times, but as you say, against a Lyon defence that has looked a little bit leaky, that is something that Arsenal have got to use today, and they've got to get more service to Alessia Russo leading the line, because on Saturday's game against Manchester City, it was just a little bit too slow in the attacking areas, and they didn't create enough chances for their top attackers. So if they can get opportunities to Russo, to the wingers tonight, then they could look to cause Lyon some problems in wide areas especially.
Yeah, indeed. Speaking of leaky defences, though, and it would be remiss of us to discuss Lyon's problems defensively, which are very slight, and not discuss Arsenal, as Arsenal have conceded in every game bar 1 this season, which was to Manchester United, which feels like a bit of a miracle. But they have had some real problems defensively. In the most recent game against City, they were exposed quite heavily, you feel. And Arsenal also had problems building up. There was no problem creating chances. But in a game tonight against Lyon, a side who are going to be very possession dominant, could we see Arsenal change their play style slightly, and could this game perhaps go in their favour for that?
Yeah, we've seen at times that Arsenal do actually prefer playing a bit more underdog football, just to sit in, absorb pressure, and then when they get the opportunity to use their world-class forwards, running at defences in transition and causing them problems. And I think that it will be interesting to see how they do handle that pressure. I think they've looked... you look at the Man City game, for example, and Arsenal looked worse when they were turning towards their own goal. But if they're sat in a little bit and it's Lyon who are just trying to progress the ball forward slowly, then Arsenal may look a little bit more comfortable, because it's a good back line. I think that, again, they didn't look terrible against Man City. It was just in transition they got caught out. But Lyon aren't going to look to transition tonight. If they do, I'll be absolutely stunned. So, Arsenal... I think they've got to try and absorb pressure, and then when they get the opportunity, they've got to attack Lyon and try and cause them problems on the break themselves. So yeah, it's flipping the script a bit for Arsenal tonight, which I think will probably go in their favour.
Yeah, well, let's get into the lineups, because we don't have long until kickoff now, only 6 minutes away. We'll start with the host tonight, which is, of course, Arsenal. It's a 4-3-3 for the Gunners. In goal, Daphne Van Domselaar, despite a shaky start to the season, maintains her starting berth. In the back 4, it's Fox, Reed returning to the side, then Catley and Hines, with Moy dropping out then for Katie Reed again. In the midfield is a pivot of Little and Caldente, with Marnham in the 10, flanked either side by Beth Mead and Chloe Kelly, and leading the line, Alessia Russo. Couple of changes in there then for Arsenal. Taylor Hines coming in for her first start in Arsenal Red since rejoining. It's going to be a very difficult trial by fire, you feel, this evening.
100%. What a horrible game to come in. Returning to the starting 11 for Hines, and this is going to be a very, very difficult test. And she's going to have to be on her A game. It's a massive moment for her. Obviously, she could come in and play really well, but that has got to be an area that Lyon look to exploit. Taylor Hines is a good player, but is she Champions League level playing against Lyon with that front three running at her? That's going to be interesting to see. A big step up for Hines tonight, replacing Katie McCabe, coming in up against an opposition like Lyon. There's a lot of pressure on her to perform tonight, and it's risky for Slagers. I know that Hines was brought in to play the rotation minutes, but surely a game against Lyon isn't one you rotate in. Surely that's one you prioritise. So I find it an interesting decision. It's bold from Slagers. Whether it's the correct decision, that we'll have to wait and see.
Is Hines the more defensively solid option than McCabe? We saw how easily McCabe was caught out in that game against Lyon last year. It was an attack down Arsenal's left-hand side that saw them score at the Emirates. Could we see Hines be a bit more defensively minded than Katie McCabe? Could that be the thinking tonight for Slagers?
Yeah, defensively minded, 100%. Defensively solid, that we'll have to wait and see. And that's where I have my problem with it. It's going to be interesting to see how she performs. I agree. I think that in terms of role-wise, we know Hines is a little bit more reserved and McCabe does like to bomb on. But I think it's an interesting decision because it's a big test of Hines, who I think was very hit and miss last year for Liverpool. So and maybe with better defenders next to her, she will look more comfortable. So yeah, I wouldn't, obviously, of course, not write her off, but it's a big game to come into. It's a big talking point. And I think especially with Katie Reid back in there, I think Arsenal will look better defensively, and that will help her. So maybe if the rest of the back three is looking sharp, then Hines will also perform alongside them.
Yeah, let's take a look then at the side for the visitors. A very strong Lyon, OL Lyonnes team. In goal, it's Christine Endler. A back four of Tatiana, Renard, Engen and Selma Batcher. In the midfield, it's Lindsay Heaps alongside Corbin Schrader, with Melchi Dumonet in the 10 role. And on the right-hand side, it's Diani. On the left-hand side, Chawinga. And leading the line, Mary Antoinette Katoto. There is firepower wherever you look for Lyon, OL Lyonnes tonight. How difficult is it going to be for Arsenal to handle that OL Lyonnes front line?
Very difficult. They're going to be the key battles I mentioned, and there Katoto up against the likes of Reid and Catley is going to be a huge battle in this game, and the winner of that is going to have a massive impact out on this game, but in wide areas as well. I think that Lyon looks so dangerous when they can get the ball into world-class wingers and get them to run at players. I think Fox is going to be perfect. We know how good her recovery runs are. Again, that battle is going to be on Arsenal's left-hand side, down Lyon's right-hand side. Who is going to win that contest? But yeah, it's a great Lyon side. They've got a lot of quality. They've got a lot of experience. It's a perfect balance of players for Arsenal. They're up against it tonight, but they've done it once before in a semi-final. Can they do it once again tonight in match week 1 of the league phase? It'll be interesting to see, but it's going to be a really, really good game. And again, home advantage for Arsenal, more familiarity in this environment. Again, fine margins, it's going to come down to those individual moments of quality are going to be what decides who wins this football match. So it's such a hard one to predict. It's really close to call.
Absolutely. It's going to be a very tight game. With 2 minutes, we've got to get into predictions. So if you're watching along, get involved in the live chat. Give us your scoreline prediction. We'll read them out ahead of kickoff. We'll start here in the studio, though, with our predictions. And we'll start with yourself, Harry. What is your prediction for this game?
I think it's going to be a very, very close one. And I'm going to sit on the fence. I am going to say it will be a draw between these two sides. Arsenal 1, OL Lyonnes 1. A good contest. And I can't pick a winner. I really can't. Both teams are very, very good, and I think it will be very, very close. I will say it will be a Lyon goal to open the scoring through Katoto, of course. What a brilliant forward, but I'll say Katoto to open the scoring. Lyon will go into the break 1-0 up, but it will be a response from Arsenal in the second half and a goal from Mariona Carente to level the score, and both these sides will take a point each from the opening match week.
Fair enough. I think it's going to be slightly more comprehensive in the favour of Lyon. I'm going to say Arsenal 0, Lyon 3. I think it will be a comfortable victory. I think John Grandes is the best manager in the women's game. I think Lyon have probably the strongest squad coming into this year. They've got to be considered favourites, I feel, for the Champions League title. And I think they'll prove that tonight. I look at Arsenal's form. I look at who starts them this evening. It's full strength for Lyon. It doesn't feel full strength for Arsenal. I think Lyon will walk this game. I think they'll play much better football than Arsenal. I mean, maybe the ground will be more suited to Arsenal. The home support will be quite vocal. Corbyn Trader has disappeared. Tragedy from the graphics there. But yeah, I think Arsenal will be in for a bit of a hiding tonight from Lyon. I will say goals from Diani, Katoto, and I'm going to go for Wendy Renard, either a header or a screamer.
Like it. I think that for me, it's a tight game that Arsenal turn up in. To be honest, it's so Arsenal to not play well enough against Villa and draw, lose to Man City, then turn up against Lyon and play really well. So I think it will be a good contest. I think Arsenal will play better than that, but based on form, you would favour Lyon. But for me, this is a tight game where Arsenal do just put on a very, very good performance.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone asking how to watch it. The game is on Disney Plus. Any subscription will do. Doesn't have to be the premium or standard. It can be the one with ads, but it is on Disney Plus in most territories. If it's not on Disney Plus in your country, which is I think there's a few countries like Canada don't have it available, then unfortunately there is no way to watch it. There are some countries that have slightly different agreements, but yeah, there is a full list on UEFA if you want to find it. But for most countries, it's Disney Plus. It's Arsenal to get us started here at the Bournemouth Meadow Park Stadium, and it will be Kim Little from the middle, waiting for the referee's whistle, knocks it back, and we're underway here for this Champions League fixture. Arsenal versus OL Lyonnes in a stadium that doesn't feel big enough to host a game of this magnitude. And it's OL Lyonnes that will get us started, knocking the ball down the right-hand side, or start the first attack, I should say, and that's out for an Arsenal throw.
Yeah, absolutely packed is Meadow Park. Understandably so. Two world-class teams on show tonight.
It's a travesty that a game of this quality, especially when it's the men's international break, is being played at Meadow Park. There's zero rationale behind it.
Yeah.
But it's Lyon who win the ball back on the pitch here. Lindsay Heaps, under pressure, wriggles out well, but is drawn down to the floor, and there is a foul given in there as Arsenal look to try and mount an attack.
Yeah, soft one, but a little bit too aggressive there from Beth Mead. Heaps did well to draw the foul. Again, it's important for Lyon to settle in an experienced side, but they'll want to get onto the ball, familiarise themselves, and just try and dictate this tempo early doors.
Heaps trying to poke it through the lines, cut out there, and Arsenal now will look to come forwards. Kelly onto Marnham, flicked onto Caldente, who will spread it wide now into Beth Mead. Back now to Hines. And now it's Catley. Shifts it across to Reed. Back to Catley. Big game tonight for Katie Reed. Has spoken about her taking those steps up. Played the United game, looked assured of herself. Was dropped strangely for the Man City game. Back in the lineup, though, for a big occasion tonight. Here is Leslie Russo. Receives it in behind. She looked to be offside there. There is a delay of the flag. And now Arsenal will look to come forwards. Little. But the camera just looks funny because it's so low and so close to the game. Catley back to Van Domsel under pressure here from Katoto. Launches it forward. Hines touches it down to Caldente. Blocked away by Tarchiani. And it drops there for Schrader. Here is Renard who wants to poke it through the lines. Hines into Caldente to Mead. Back now to Taylor Hines. And now it's Steph Catley. Pass across to Van Domselaar. Back to Catley. Looking to go down the line. And a pass inside to Caldente. Here is Hines. I'm back by Diani. Heaps. Round the corner into Dumonet. Oh, manages to beat Caldente well. Dumonet now breaking into the box. Not a bad ball across the face of goal. But no one from OL Lyonnes can react. And Arsenal survive the early pressure for now. Here is Kim Little. Nice pass inside to Beth Mead, who's come narrow to receive it. And already a goal in one of the other games this evening. It's Barcelona 1, Bayern Munich 0 after just 3 minutes. Wow, what a quick start to the game over there. And it's Alexa Putellas who has that goal. Caldente into Catley. Not the start that Bayern would have wanted. And Barcelona in the ascendancy. Tarchiani knocking that out of play.
So many good games on. You forget, there's loads of football going on right now around Europe. Is it 3 other ties plus this one?
3 times in total. So the other game, Paris FC OH Leuven. Now, unfortunately, I don't have my Paris FC shirt to be able to support my my Paris FC picks. Marquez, Bogoet, and Matteo all in UWCL Fantasy. They are going to win. Heavily, I hope. Lyon in possession now. Tiachiane. Throws it into Dumornay. And Mead pounces on it quickly and knocks it out of play.
Good start from Arsenal. Positive. Again, this is what we expected. Lyon trying to get the ball down, trying to play football. Arsenal are just doing well to disrupt that rhythm.
And a goal in the other game this evening as well. Paris FC lead OH Leuven by a 1-0. So goals going in around the grounds. And a play now for an Arsenal throw on this near side. It's high to the ball in her hands. And waiting now for players to make some movement. Needs some movement from the Arsenal players. Goes into Kim Little, who's under pressure immediately there. And then put out a play by Catley as Katoto puts her under the press. And she's booked there for a strong challenge on Steph Catley. Assertive officiating as well. I mean, that was interesting. I don't know how much contact Katoto made there.
Yeah, I'd like to see a replay of that one right on the touchline. Both managers have their piece
The
of
ref
play as well.
immediately had the yellow out of her pocket and charged over there.
She couldn't wait. Catley is down in a heap. I'd like to see it back. They definitely competed for it. It was close. But an early yellow card going towards Katoto then. I think we'll get a replay of it here. Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah,
that's not a nice one. I think it's low enough that I don't think the VAR will be interested in it. But yeah, definite yellow card. Fair enough, got that one spot on. It was just the manner of the certainty from the referee there.
Yeah.
But yeah. VAR won't
See, the referee was tonight.
Maria Sole Caputi.
There you go. Not a bad decision though, I think. No. That's a very firm and over the line challenge from Katoto. Unnecessary as well. Yeah, because the ball had gone. Didn't need to make that challenge, but there you go. An early yellow card for Katoto. Ball across the box now for Arsenal. Will drop for Caldente. Heaps pokes it away to Kim Little, who squared up for the shot. Now it's Emily Fox's go. But again, great pressure from Schrader. Here now is Kelly. We forced backwards. Now Reed. Back to Catley. Now Little. Lovely pass out to the left-hand side to Mead, who holds the width well. Now into Caldente, who can look to make something happen here in the final third. Beth Mead receives it well on the half-turn. Looks to come inside. Not really the room. Wriggles her way through. Posts it to Russo, who's through on goal. Alessia Russo scores for Arsenal. What a move for Arsenal. Mead pokes it through the lines, and Alessia Russo tucks it home well. It's Arsenal 1, OL Lyonnes 0. Alessia Russo fires home for the Gunners. And Lyon are behind. Messing around, just couldn't deal with the ball there, Lyon. And it's poked through the Lyon backline into Russo, who tucks it past Endler with ease. Too easy. Way too easy. Everyone steps up for Lyon. Tries to deal with Mead, who pokes it through. Endler with no chance. Russo, a real poacher's effort. Slotting it past the OL Lyonnes goalkeeper. Arsenal 1, Lyon 0.
Really good start from Arsenal. They've been aggressive. We knew Lyon wanted to get onto the ball, but Arsenal went right in their faces. Turn it over heart of the pitch, and Russo, that is cool as you like. What a finish from the Arsenal forward. And what a start for the Gunners. And again, they've turned the ball over heart of the pitch here. Lyon really struggling to get out.
Into Kelly, back to Kim Little. Now Reed. Here is Fox. Back to Little. Who goes back to Catley. And now pokes it wide into Taylor Hines. Mead there with a strong challenge. Looks like she went over the ball there. And it will be a free kick. I think she's lucky not to be in it for a yellow as well.
Yeah, I think she went through the ball, if anything, which is why she's frustrated. Because I think she did get the ball, but she's followed through. And although you could argue her foot has nowhere to go, she's still caught Tatiana there. But a fast start in all 3 games. Goals already flying in around Europe. Yeah. And it's been an aggressive start to this match as well.
And already an assist for Clara Matteo, which is the important thing. Paris FC starting well in that game.
That's what we said would happen. Arsenal are really good at playing this brand of football, letting the opposition have the ball, and then just turning it over and causing chaos.
Yeah. A fun fact as well from tonight's game. I believe this is probably the first game ever to feature 2 players with the name Fox in the language of the teams they're playing for, of the country the teams they're playing for are in. Because you've got Renard, which translates to Fox, and you've got Emily Fox. Catley, Caldente, back now to Hines, and it's back to Catley. So there you go.
That is cutting edge
If
analysis.
you wanted to learn something today, there's something for you to know. This is a landmark game for that reason. I imagine the first time would have been when they played last year, but this is more fun now.
Yeah.
Did Renard play in that game though? She was injured, wasn't she?
I've no idea.
Anyway, that's the important stuff. Here's Hines on the ball with the throw-in. She's being hurried up here by the referee. Hines goes down the line. Russo will look to hold it up now. Tries to flick it on. Assertive defending there from Tarchiane, and there's a foul in there. Russo dragged her back, and here is Renard with the free kick.
Yeah, Lyon do not look comfortable. Arsenal done really well to unsettle them, causing problems. Leading, obviously, is the main one. But still, Lyon really can't settle into this game.
Dumonet. Lovely turn in there from Chawinga, who's now going to be forced back into Heaps. And now Wendy Renard. Tarchiane smashed out of play by Caldente. And a throw in now for OL Lyonnes. Diani tries to hold it up. Strong chance from Mead to knock it out of play. She's had a bit of feistiness to her this evening, Beth Mead. Already got an assist. Oh, great ball in the box from Albert. Dumoulin couldn't get anything on it. Batcher puts it back in there. It's blocked out of play. And that is a Lyon corner.
Yeah, out wide. Lyon getting a little bit more joy. Combinations with the wide midfielders and the wingers. And there, that was Katoto, Diani and Schrader linking up. And again, on the other flank, good block from Kelly to put it out for a corner, but better from Lyon. When they get it out wide, they look a little bit more dangerous.
Salma Batcher over this corner. Referee dealing with some tussling in the penalty area. Here is Schrader. Ball into the box, and that will go all the way through. Diani will keep this move alive for the Lyonnais. Out of play for another corner. We've got another goal in the Barcelona game. It's Barcelona 2, Bayern Munich 0.
That is going to get messy.
And the Bavarians sinking without a trace at the moment. This goal from a corner. Not quite sure who scored it yet. It's Ava Payor. Probably could have predicted that.
Yes.
And a good start for Barca as they lead by 2-0, and Bayern not involved in that game at all. So Lyon now with this corner. It's taken short. Corbin Albert. Back to Batcher. In towards Renard, who heads it down. Diani fashions it to Dumoulin, who can take aim, and it's blocked out of play. And that's just a wild effort from Melchior Dumoulin. And that will be an Arsenal goal kick. Should have done better there. The Haitian creator.
Yeah, just knocked it into a left foot and lashed at it wildly. Arsenal will happily see that sail wide. Good reaction though from Lyon. That's the thing, when they get the ball down and they do play out and get into Arsenal's half, they can cause problems. But it's when they get stuck in their own third that they look really vulnerable.
Yeah. Out of play now for an Arsenal throw. Flicked on there by Rousseau. Looking for the run of Kelly. And that goes all the way through to Endler. Lifting out to the right-hand side. Diani gets the flick on. Now Dumoulin. Tidy control. And not out of play by Mariona Caldente. Throw in now for OL Lyonnes. Dumoulin looking to go down the line. We don't know what they're doing now because we're looking at Jonathan Giraldes.
Unfamiliar territory for Giraldes, though, surely.
Well, them losing.
When was the last time one of his teams was trailing in a Champions League match?
It's a great question. believe it would have been when Erin Cuthbert scored
Yes.
in the first leg of the semi-final back in 2023.
Wow.
And here come OL Lyonnes on the counter charge. Dumornay, Heaps holds the ball up well. Schrader in there.
Ooh.
And there's a foul given against Mead, which is the wrong way round.
Yeah. Mead was dragging pulling each other. Yeah, that is... Beth Mead is falling over there because she's trying to hold on to Heaps. But she's won a free kick, so, fair play. But again, Lyon, they won't be happy with the start they've made. And they want to get back on top very quickly.
Here is Dumornay. Chewinga, holds up really well against Fox. Now Marn looking to break. Chewinga gets back in well. Here's Rousseau. Kelly shifts it to Little. Here is Reed under pressure. Shifts it to Catley. Now Van Domselaar, who pumps it out towards the right-hand side. Good control from Chloe Kelly. Now Little. And Caldente shifts it on to Mead. Hines now down the line. Arsenal coming forwards well. Diani gets back in there and wins it with ease. Hines though putting her under pressure. Poked inside from Diani. Heaps now under pressure. Here is Renard. And it's back to Endler. Bit of a miscommunication. Endler though has no problem passing it away from Chloe Kelly, and Vatcher's now in Acres. The pitch was really small, and that seems to be benefiting Arsenal at the moment. Lyon are looking for space, and it just isn't there. Physically isn't there.
I say, despite the improvements that we've seen to Meadow Park, it's still not what you'd the ideal scenario.
Tarciane. Back now to Renard. Heaps. Now Wendy Renard. Lifts it into Katoto, heads it down to Dumornay. Here's Diani. Forced back to Tarciane. Heaps. Now Renard. Out now to the right-hand side. Dumornay fizzes it in. Chewinga tries to keep it alive. Can't quite manage it. And there's a handball in there. Not deliberate from Heaps, but did stop Arsenal breaking away.
Yeah. Again, good defending from Katie Reid. And then just as Heaps tries to keep it alive, catches her arm. But much more settled from both sides now. And this is what we expected, an even encounter. The difference is, though, that Arsenal got that opening goal.
Kelly lifts it in behind. And here is Alessia Rousseau. Batcher tries to get back in. Good challenge from Selma Batcher. Out for an Arsenal throw.
I have to say, it's been a bit of a quiet start to the OSL season for Rousseau. Yes, she got 2 goals, but...
both came against West Ham.
Yeah, and I didn't think we saw much for her on Saturday, but tonight, she is well up for it.
Yeah. Marnham. Now Kelly. Now Frida Marnham. Here's Fox. Marnham. Back to Fox. Katoto tries to win it back. This is really good football from Arsenal. Against the press. Van Domselaar. Catley. That's around over the back. Dumornay picks it off. Should score. It's blocked. And then she does score. And OL Lyonnes are level. Arsenal trying to play out from the back. They mess around with it. And Melchi Dumornay wins the ball. Has a shot that's saved. But finishes the rebound. And it's Arsenal 1. Lyon 1.
Absolute gift. This is an absolute gift. And it's Van Domselaar again this season.
Another mistake.
My oh my. Not been her campaign. A goal kicker that looked so strong last season has had a shocker of a time this year. And it's another error that leads directly to a Lyon goal. What a mess that is.
This is her most obvious error of the season, bar the West Ham one. That's got to be better from Van Domselaar at this level. Can't get away with a pass like that.
And that's a shame because Arsenal started really well. They deserve to be ahead.
And now it's reset.
Yeah.
And suddenly, the first 18 minutes doesn't matter as much because Lyon are level. Tatiana intercepts the ball. It drops for Renard after it pinballs around the Arsenal defenders. Ball in behind to Dumornay, who gets the wrong side of Hines. Hines tries to bring her down. Dumornay bursts past her. Flicks the back post. Chewinga blocked by Fox. And that was the first time we've truly seen Taylor Hines taken on in this game. And Melchi Dumornay blasted past her like she wasn't there.
Yeah, really good again from Lyon. Their tails are up now, and Hines just gets beaten too easily and does, to be honest, is lucky to not commit the foul and go penalty. Dink to the back post, where headed goalwards. Chewinga asked for a penalty, but it definitely wasn't handball, but a Lyon corner. And this is the thing: when Lyon don't start brilliantly and you give them a lifeline back into the game, suddenly they completely fit that on you. And again, Arsenal won this tournament last year because they were perfect at every step of the way. And even when they weren't, they spun it around, they turned it on its head. It was matches like these where they didn't put a foot wrong. But already this season, we're just seeing errors creeping in certain matches.
And it's Salma Batcha over this. Lifted in towards the back post, and that's headed away by Little and out for another corner. And OL Lyonnes can keep the pressure on now. Not given as a corner, though. Well, it was definitely Kim Little that came off. But there you go.
What a start.
Doing one over the goal. Had a chance to get the assist, I think. When she blasts past Hines, she had to look up and square it, rather than looking to chip it to the back post. Batcher. Great hold up from Chewinga. Ball knocked out of play. Lyon's front line is so deadly.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely terrifying.
And
opposition defenders. Katoto dragged down. Not sure how that's not been given, but Arsenal come forwards. Marnham. Kelly. Ball back now to Fox.
And that's the thing.
Reed under pressure. Dumornay tries to win it back. Reed hits the deck. Little bit fortunate there.
Yeah, it's just a little bit overeager from Lyon, but they've done well. And suddenly, Lyon are 5 yards further up the pitch and Arsenal are 5 yards deeper, and the momentum has just shifted a little bit.
Yeah, Catley zips it over the top, and that'll run straight through to Christine Endler.
But again, Lyon know what they're doing. Arsenal had 61% of the ball, but sides like Arsenal having the ball because you press them high and you manage to turn it over.
Tatiana, one back out of the pitch. Here's Mead. Lovely give and go between Marnham and Hines. Marnham will take aim. Doesn't quite get enough behind that shot to trouble Christine Endler. Just floats into the gloves of the Lyon goalkeeper.
Yeah, she'll be annoyed because she could have done a lot better with that. Not under too much pressure and with a lot of the goals to aim for. But both sides, it's so much better when they don't have the ball.
Here's Tatiana. Now to Diani. Schrader gives it to Dumornay. Oh, tidy footwork. Lovely from Melchi Dumornay. But then loses out to Taylor Hines, who pounces on her. Caldente gives it away to Dumornay. Here's Heaps. Diani does brilliantly to keep that in play, and now she can run at Catley. She's already the wrong side of Hines, tries to poke it through the lines. And Katoto just not on the same wavelength and doesn't make the right run.
Again, so much talent in that Lyon front line, but they're not on. Just can't seem to get on the same wavelength at the moment. Again,
bit of a mess at the back. It will drop now for Dumornay. Can she take game? She can. Oh, Melchi Dumornay. What a strike! And it's 2 for Lyon, 2 for Dumornay, and it's Arsenal 1. OL Lyonnes 2. What a hit from Melchi Dumornay. You can't give her that sort of time and space on the edge of the box and expect her to do anything other than find the top corner. What a hit. What a player. Arsenal 1, Lyon 2.
Again, Arsenal errors playing out of the back, and they've handed Lyon away back into this game. It's a brilliant strike from Dumornay. Don't take anything away from that, but it's so poor out the back from Arsenal. Giving it away way too cheaply. Mario Caldente caught on the ball after it's rolled to her by Van Domselaar, and Lyon react quickest.
Oh, it drops then to Reed. Reed's got to do better. Inexperienced. She just heads it down to Dumornay on the edge of the box, and there's only going to be one outcome after that.
But again, the little Caldente pivot. Yeah, I don't get how many more times we can watch this pivot and get caught out by things like that, get caught on the ball, and Slegers keep sticking with it.
Teams that are this good out of possession will win that ball back so frequently. And it's looking good for French sides in the Champions League tonight. Paris FC 2, OH Leuven 0. Clara Matteo with the second goal in that game. And a goal and assist now for the Paris FC forward. So good start to the game for them. Lyon winning here. PSG
Arsenal will be really frustrated because they have started this game well when they've got into Lyon's half. They've caused them problems. They've frustrated Lyon on the ball. They've scored a really nice goal for Alessio Russo. But defensive mistakes now have cost them 2 goals.
And it'll be frustrating because if you lose to OL Lyonnes because they're a brilliant team, that's fair enough, isn't it? But when you lose because you're giving goals away like what we've seen so far, that must be really frustrating for Lyon, for Arsenal fans. What a effort from Caldente and a great stop from Endler. They are not out of this game, Arsenal. Russo tries to fashion a cross. It's cleared away well by Batcher. Headed to keep alive. Here's Russo again on the right-hand side. Schrader tries to foul her, unsuccessful in her attempts. But Russo's clearly off-put as that cross was fairly poor. But Caldente forcing a save out of the Lyon goalkeeper.
Again, Lyon don't deal with it in their own penalty area. Falls the count out on the volley, who catches it nicely, but a really good stop from Endler, diving down to her left-hand side. This game's going to end 4-4 because not both sides look so vulnerable defensively. It's incredible. And that's what happens when you get front lines that are this dangerous. Even the best defence in the world can look a little bit shaky, especially with 2 sides that are used to turning up in their league matches and always being the side on top.
Ball sent forwards by Endler. Flick on from Kototo. Tries to win the second ball, one back though by Hines. And dragged down in there is Mead by Dumornay, to the frustration of Melchi Dumornay, who felt that was a fair challenge on her part. And Mead went down quite softly.
Yeah, it just buttoned her over, really. Hooked her leg.
Mead does well because she's looking for that and wins it.
Yeah, what a start to the Champions League then for Dumornay. A very dangerous player and once again lighting it up on the European stage. Again, though, sloppy from Lyon.
And here's a chance for Kelly from the edge. And that one fired into the crowd. But don't worry, she'll tap the badge afterwards to make up for it.
But what you've got tonight is an Arsenal defence who have looked a little bit shaky this season without Williamson. And just in general. And a Lyon defence that haven't been tested at all this season. And now they're being put under pressure. They don't know what to do with it.
And here is Renard who gets it clear. Well, they have conceded in all but one game in the league.
Yeah, it's because they're already up 6-0 up. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but no, they've had, other than the PSG game, which is embarrassing for PSG, they have been fairly narrow into apart from obviously the RC Lons.
That's like they smashed Lons a minute ago.
Yeah, Lons is a very easy game. PSG, they beat 6-1.
And that was a joke.
Well, so I think it says more about PSG than it does about Lyon.
Yes.
They lost their arguably best 2 players, or best player and best freedom fighter, to Lyon. Here is Corbin Schrader. Now Batcher tries to play a pass through the lines. Fox wins it back. And another goal in Barcelona. Bayern Munich gets Barcelona 3. Bayern Munich 0. Esme Brooks find the back of the net, assisted by Alexia Putellas. So goals are flying in across the Champions League this evening.
Has everyone forgotten how to defend tonight? Everyone's on Champions League back on and let's go score goals.
Yeah, well, I don't mind it. Let's keep the good action just coming. It's been brilliant.
I mean, it'd be nice if Bayern turned up.
That would be good, yeah, of course. Here is Mead on the left-hand side. Wants to take on Tachiane. Tries to poke it through the lines, but it's won back by Lyon. Here is Corbin Schrader. Renard back to goalkeeper Endler.
Tachiane's looked a little bit uncomfortable.
Shaky. Yeah, she's not a right back, though.
I know, that
What's Shafi Lawrence got to be thinking on a night like tonight? She's gone to Lyon to, replace Ellie Carver, to be the starting right back, but they don't trust her for a game like this. She is a right back. She's fit to play. What is the thought process there? I guess you have a touchdown some better defender, but she's a centre back by trade. That's a ball down the line, fairly aimless. Russo works so hard to get there. Excellent, Russo, but she's offside.
That has ruined it. Because that was I loved that from Alessia Russo. Everyone else, Lyon, the players, Arsenal gave up on that football, but she kept after it and managed to hold on to it. And to be honest, I don't think she's offside. So that's really unlucky.
Yeah.
Because she
has on there by Ingrid Engen.
Worked so hard to get to that football. And everyone else gave up on it. She believed she could get there and got there, and it would have caught Lyon out.
Yeah. Little tries to poke out to the right-hand side. Kelly loses out, tries to foul Selma Batcher, but Batcher keeps going regardless. Here's Engen. Now Renard. Floats it out towards the right-hand side. Diani. On back by Hines. Here is Mariona Caldente, and that's out of play for a Lyon throw.
This game's really hard to work out because it's one of those where you think, right, we're 15, 16 minutes away from half time, Lyon in a good position, just need to sit in with what they've got. But I can see now 3 goals.
Out to the left-hand side. Here's Selma Batcher. Can take aim. It's blocked by Katie Reid. It's out now for an OL Lyonnes throw-in on the far side. They're hurting Arsenal now, Lyon. They're moving the ball quicker than them. They're dragging them across the field. They're making this pitch very wide. Schrader. Into Renard. Now Tarchiani. Back to Renard. He's waiting for a forward option. Dumonet. Lovely pass around the corner. An even better pass from Dumonet in towards Heaps, who can't quite hold on to the ball. One back, though, by the tenacious Melchi Dumonet. Corvin Schrader. Out to the left-hand side. Batcher. Engen. Schrader back to Engen. Now Batcher. Engen. Heaps again. Schrader. Nice control. Gives it to Chawinga. Overlapping runner Batcher. Ball in. And that's cleared out by Fox. And that's an OL Lyonnes corner.
Again, good football in wide areas from Lyon. Lovely combinations. Batcher with a lot of space to put that ball in well. Blocked by Fox. But again, another corner for the away side, who are really starting to put the pressure on. It's still a little bit end-to-end, but it feels like for every Arsenal shot, there's 3 or 4 chances for Lyon, which isn't going to work for the Gunners. Need a bit of reaction, because Lyon have really got their tails up at the moment.
Ball in towards the back post, heads away, drops now for Diani, who takes aim, bounce around the box, chance for Chawinga, blocked over the bar. Or actually just fired out by Chawinga.
Again, probably should do better, and a let-off for Arsenal. Just gets under it and skies it, but box defending all over the place. Lyon just managed to kind of flick it round corners and get little touches on it that work it to Chawinga, who couldn't quite find the target.
F said, sorry that we're ahead of you. You can do the reverse of syncing the game up with us. If you pause the stream and then unpause it with your game, you can time us to the game. So he stops spoiling the match for you. But thank you for joining in the live chat. Kelly. And there's a foul in there. Not sure how much of a foul there was.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
Few odd calls. I think the ref could let this game run a bit.
Yeah, it's very stop-start.
And we've got another goal in the Barcelona game. It's Barcelona 3, Bayern 1. Clara Biel with a goal in that game. As Bayern are looking them out to fight back.
Well, they've woken up then, Bayern.
Yes, they've shown up after half an hour of play.
They've just come out the tunnel.
Yeah, they stood in there waiting while Barca scored 3. Tarchiani goes back now to Engen. So yeah, goals across the games. The only team who haven't conceded yet is Paris FC.
Wow.
Good start for them.
Yeah. OH Leuven, not a brilliant debut, but no one would, the fact they're in this tournament is just a brilliant moment for them.
Well, yeah, and that's why I think the expansion of the Champions League is so important for teams like OH Leuven. To be in the league phase is huge for them.
Yeah.
Corbin Schrader, ball poked forwards now for Dumonet. Can't quite keep it under her control. Brought down there by Russo. Now Kelly. Here is Catley. Back now to Reed. Catley. And now it's Mead inside to Caldente. Nice control. Goes back to Steph Catley. Tries to poke it through the lines. One back though by OL Lyonnes. Heaps though gives that away too casually. Hines though concedes possession and Dumornay pokes through the lines to Chewinga. Tidy control from Tabata Chewinga, who now will look to take on Emily Fox. Waits for the overlapping run of Batcher. Goes towards Batcher. She won't be able to keep it in. It's over here. But great football from OL Lyonnes.
Again, sloppy in there from both sides. But Arsenal, after immediately turning it over, Taylor Hines gave it straight back to Lyon. And again, just lacking in the final third there. But OL Lyonnes are doing well when they're letting Arsenal have the ball, but not letting them have it very hard at the pitch, just limiting to them when they're actually having Arsenal having consistent pressure in their own half. But as soon as that ball gets across the halfway line, there's Lyon shirt to swarm it.
Yeah, great run there from Mead beyond Tachiani, and then Mead brings her down. That is a Lyon free kick. I don't know what Mead's complaint is there. She's booked for her reaction, and that will be a yellow card. Don't really know what complaint she can have there. She's just jumped at her and rugby tackled her.
It's slightly frustrating because I've never seen a player complain about every single foul they commit. I mean, yeah, Tachiani has cleared the ball away and Mead has fouled her.
She was due a yellow anyway, and then she's just reacted like that.
But it's like when a young kid doesn't really understand the rules and just appeals for a foul whenever someone goes down injured. But it's like the opposite with me. Every time she fouls someone, she's stunned that it's given.
Yeah. Tachiani lumps it forwards. Reed heads it away, and Arsenal now looking to use it. Marno can't quite hold on to that Mead pass. And now here come Lyonnes on the left-hand side. Selma Batcher switching it into Diani. And Mead gets back in there assertively. Hines gives it away. But Duornay runs out of play.
But again, it all comes down to mentality. You're trailing 2-1 to the 8-time champions of this trophy. You are the reigning holders. You need to pull your socks up and get yourselves back in the game.
Yeah. Tachiani flicked on there by Chewinga towards Katoto. Poked out of play by Reed.
Again, good football from Lyonnes. Reed does well, actually, to get there ahead of Katoto and just deal with it. Doesn't faff around, doesn't try and overplay it or overcomplicate it. Just gets a clearance. Although, it is another Lyonnes corner. And another chance for the aerial presences like Renard to get themselves forward. I mean, why is Chloe Kelly marking Wendy Renard?
That seems like a recipe for disaster. Ball towards the back post. Caldente gets it clear. Diani trying to keep this in the possession of OL Lyonnes. Engen switching the play. Heaps heads it down, and now here is Tabata Chewinga. Ball into the box. Van Donslar does claim this one. And a good claim at that.
Yeah, probably should have just reversed it into the onrushing Heaps. Instead, Chewinga just hooks it into the penalty area. Well done from Van Donslar. Needed that. Comfortable catch. Go out, claim it. And just reset yourself. Again, Arsenal go long with it. Turned over by Lyon almost immediately.
Heaps. Tachiani to poke it through the lines. One back by Mariona Caldente. Hines. Little. Wants to switch the play. Goes back now to Reed. Little. Back to Katie Reed. Now Catley. Eight minutes until the half. Let us know if you're watching along in the live chat. Do you think we'll see another goal before half time? Can Arsenal push for an equaliser before the break? Could OL Lyonnes find another, or do you think we'll go into the break as we are? Let us know in the live chat. And from the poll-in chat, the 600 odd votes, 62% think Arsenal will win. Well, it hasn't been the start they would have wanted. 32% with OL Lyonnes and 7% going for a draw.
Yeah, it was a bizarre few minutes from Arsenal that let Lyon turn this game around, but Arsenal done well just to steady the ship a little bit. Haven't let it get out of hand, haven't let Lyon run away with it. They've kept themselves in the contest, which is crucial.
Van Domsla into Catley. Now Hines, Caldente. Here's Kim Little. There's one back there by Heaps. He's trying to see off Mead. Goes into Tarchiane. One back by Dumoulin. And now here is Corbin Schrader. Lays it into Malchi Dumoulin. Ball into the box. And no one can meet it. And now Kelly goes back to Catley. Hines. Tries to poke it down the line. And that's a poor giveaway from Tarchiane. And now here comes Freedom Arnhem. Ball into the box. Cleared away. And now here come OL Lyonnes Heaps. Dumoulin. And that's back to Tarchiane.
Yeah, again, Arsenal, even there, when Renard gives the ball away, they don't make anything of it. Just clear it straight, cross it straight into the feet of Ingrid Engen, who is obviously going to just sweep that ball up with ease. Got to take advantage of when Lyon do mess up. It's what they did to get the first goal. Scrappy, Lyon didn't deal with it, and they worked it to Russo, who a very tidy finish. But they haven't punished the other Lyon errors.
And now here come OL Lyonnes. Batcher flanking down the left-hand side. Ball cut back to Chawinga on the edge. You can strike it, and it's just wide of the mark. And once again, Lyon challenging the Arsenal goal. Just wide this time from Tabitha Chawinga. But under more pressure, Arsenal. That was not far away at all.
Caught it so nicely. Again, was given too much space to take her time and pick out where she wanted to place it. Just past the post, looking for the bottom corner. But not far away. And that's what I mean. For all the possession that Arsenal have had, Lyon had over double the attempts. 4 shots to 10 in Lyon's favour. It's the same story for Arsenal. Is it as it has been in most games? Same with the Man City game. All of the ball, but less shots than the opposition. Not doing enough with the ball when they've got it.
Ball down the right-hand side. Diani overlapping. Taking on Hines now. Post ball into the box. Katoto heads on goal. And Van Domsla makes a crucial save.
Does well. It's flicked back across goal by Chawinga. Katoto flicks it goal as Van Domsla reads it well. And it's a good claim.
Yeah, so well redirected header there by Katoto. But yeah.
If you're Katoto, that's got to go down into the ground. Bounce it up. Make it difficult for the goalkeeper. Keep her guessing.
It's difficult, yeah, you want to add more power there, but it's difficult when the ball was already quite slow moving. Schrader round the corner looking for Chawinga. That's a lovely pass from Kelly into Marnham. Across now to Caldente, bearing in on goal. Shifts it to Beth Mead, and that's saved. Or blocked by Tarchiane, sorry. Now Mead. Mead again. Caldente lays it into Hines in the half space. Cleared away by Renard. Caldente, now Mead. Catley. Into Mariona Caldente, who loops it forwards, looking for Russo. Here is Diani. Just chipping it in behind for Dumoulin to run onto. Catley clears it away. Just as Tarchiane is frustrating me so far, an Arsenal fan, but also Brazilian, so I'm divided with this challenge. Yeah, fair enough. It's been an interesting battle. But yeah, I think Tarchiane just about edging the contest. Just as Lyon needs to come back. Just a bit of discipline, a bit of leadership in that back line, yeah.
Yes, it's just been... It's the errors surprised me because we haven't seen that so far this season. And that is... Arsenal got to hope that doesn't start to creep in. In terms of we've seen errors, but not necessarily playing as glaringly obvious as the ones today, which is just simply playing out and practically passing it to Lyon.
Heaps into Schrader. Poor pass forward. Bounces through, though, to Diani. Into the box. Chewing with a chance. Big second. Toto redirects him. And Domslow in the second stop. But Arsenal at the moment getting opened up too easily. And that easily could have been another for Lyon in this game. Lovely flick on in there from Katoto. Diani flash across the box. Chewingas was safe well. Katoto just hits it straight at Van Domslow with the rebound.
Again, really good play from Lyon in the wide areas.
And there's only a minute left in this first half.
Flown by.
But Lyon in control. Batcher. Back now to Renard.
Van Domslow's reacted well since her error. Made some good saves.
Yeah. Ball down the line. Cut out really well there by Kelly. And it's out now for a Lyon throw. Batcher. Into the feet there of Katoto. Looks a little bit dubious as to whether it was a foul throw. Batcher. Renard. Back to Engen. Heaps. Engen again. Ball in behind. And it's Chewinga against Reed. Chewinga wants to take her on and she just flies past her. Kate Reed does well to recover.
Oh, wow.
Gets back in there well. Really good defending. Chewinga had the beating of her initially, but Reed got back in.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from the youngster. She looked like she'd lost that battle, but a great recovery and a really good recovery without committing a foul very easily there. Once the player burst past you to just drag her down, but really well defended by Reed.
And another goal in Barcelona by, and it's Barcelona 4, Bayern Munich 1. Salma Paralluelo adding to the score. You know it's bad when that happens. Tough evening already for Bayern. Dumounet trying to open up the space for the shot. Couldn't quite. Now it's back in possession of Lyon though. Endler. Into Renard. Endler again. Renard. Into Melchi Dumounet. Knocks out to the left-hand side. Poked into Chewinga. Wants to take on Reed. Ball struck at the goalkeeper. Van Domslow holds onto it well. And now thrown out to Mead. And that is the half-time whistle here at Meadow Park. It's Arsenal 1, OL Lyonnes 2. Sorry, I got mixed up between my Michel Can clubs there. I almost said London City Lionesses. With the goals in that half, Rousseau struck early, but Lyon responded well with a brace from Melchi Dumounet. 2 defensive errors from Arsenal. And Geraldez's side have the advantage going into half-time. It's Arsenal 1, OL Lyonnes 2.
Good half of football, a fast-starting Arsenal, but then a catalogue of errors and a brilliant period of OL Lyonnes dominance sees them leading into a break, and well-deserved. It was, it's been a little bit sloppy from Arsenal, and as I said, the 2 glaring errors that led directly to both Dumounet goals. Take nothing away from Dumounet, she has still had to finish them off, and the second one was a brilliant strike, but overall, really, really poor from Arsenal after what was a really positive start. They came at Lyon aggressively in the first 10 minutes, got on the score sheet, a brilliant finish for Alessia Russo, and you thought that the holders of this competition were going to start with a bang, but since then it has been really disappointing, not been good enough at the back, and whenever Lyon have come at them, they have looked so shaky, and as I said, Van Domselaar passing it to Dumounet for the first goal, and then again Arsenal playing out. Caldente's caught on the ball, and Dumounet fired Lyon in front. And since then, despite Arsenal having the majority of the possession, they've not done enough with it, and it's Lyon causing the problems, especially in the wide areas. And they've had so much joy. And I'm going to say it, everything for Lyon has come down Arsenal's left. And it completely makes sense. I know Arsenal fans love her, but I said it when they first signed her back in the summer. Taylor Hines isn't good enough for this level. It's as simple as that. She's really struggled up against or whoever's been running at her. It's been such a fluid front three that it's been Lyon a brilliant front three.
It's a really odd choice to bring her into, because I don't think she's Champions League level anywhere near Champions League level. I don't really think she's top end WSL level. I think she's okay as a rotation player in the WSL, and so you'd have expected her to play games like the West Ham game, like the London City game, or at least get minutes in those. Instead, we've seen McKay played in every match this season. Then we get to the Champions League, and they rotate in Taylor Hines, and we saw her get skinned by Melchi Diamornay, and then she chipped the ball into the box. If she squared it, it probably would have been 3-1. And yet every time Lyon have come down the right-hand side, they just look so threatening, as we predicted, really, in the build-up. But, yeah, Arsenal and Lyon fans, I want to hear from you. Get involved in the live chat. Let us know your thoughts on that first half. Jill saying, Mariona needs freedom to create. What's interesting, I think, you look at the start of the Arsenal Man City game, what they did quite interestingly, or at least start of the second half, was they were inverting McCabe in order to push Caldente on. So they want Caldente in that higher role. And oftentimes Palova was dropping in to allow Caldente to get forwards. But she's so deep in the field. She just can't get involved. And you've got Mead on the left-hand side tonight. You've got Marnham in the 10. And neither of them are really going to drop back in to allow Caldente to get forward. So, yeah, it's just been a weird one. But, yeah, I think it's... I think there's no surprises, really, in this Arsenal team anymore. They started well, but... it was a little bit fortunate how they created the goal, and Arsenal had problems all season breaking down teams and just sort of stabbing a pass through the back line that bumbles through isn't a sustainable way to get goals. It was good for me, that work ethic to just poke it through, and then we saw, obviously, Russo take the goal really well, and in that position you'd expect nothing less from Alessia Russo. What we saw after that was Arsenal didn't create anything because they get into the final third and it's so stagnant. It has been all season. And so, from the 7th minute, they've had 6 shots in this game, 3 on target, 1 big chance created, which they scored. The difference for OL Lyonnes is 13 shots, double the shots on target with 6, 3 big chances, and they've only taken 1 of those big chances. So this could be, based on the big chances, a much bigger scoreline, especially with obviously Dumonet scoring that screamer as well. It's just difficult with how Arsenal are playing at the moment. It's not functional. It's really difficult to talk about because people go, well, why isn't it working for us? Nothing's working. You can't point to a thing where you go, well, this player's letting them down, or they just need to tweak this. At the moment, it's just not really working. It's too stagnant. The wide players never seem to be complementary. I mean, you've got Kelly tonight who wants to be on the touchline, Mead who wants to be on the touchline. Neither player wants to drive inside and make anything happen. We've not really seen either on the ball. Mead's been on the ball a few times, but she's been shot down too effectively by Tarchiane. Don't think Kelly's really been involved in this game at all today. And that's been, a bit of a problem. I think looking at the back line, defensively they've been really poor. Reed doesn't look ready for this level. I think the giveaway to Dumonet, it's a sign of inexperience. She's looked great in the first 3 WSL games, but odd choice. And again, it's kind of forced her injuries. But equally, what are Arsenal doing with rotation at the moment? Yeah. They have got Leia Cadena, and she hasn't played a minute of football this season. She's not injured. She played in the Euros final. She came off the bench, but not involved for Arsenal today. I just can't understand why.
It's all round. It's all round. The team selection and the rotation is so wrong. I can't understand why Slagers can't see it. Again, you mentioned that the winger combinations are really, really bizarre, and they're consistently going wrong. It's the pivot. We've said it time and time again. The little Caldente pivot doesn't work. You need Caldente higher, and it gets caught out. And people will say, well, you have to play that because you wouldn't play Cooney Cross in this game. But if you're worried about Cooney Cross playing...
Cooney Cross hasn't played any minutes and they don't have any other midfield options. There's no one I look at the Arsenal team and go, they're perfect for the pivot.
Yeah, but also, if you're worried about playing Cooney Cross because it's too much of a bigger game, then why are you playing Taylor Hines and Katie Reid? So that's clearly not the problem. So why does Slagers keep persisting with the same problems? And I think this is what is catching her outside as a manager now, because it's not like she's just missed a problem once. It's the same consistent issues that are catching Arsenal out. And I just wonder, how long is it going to take Slagers to realise that she has to change things? Because, it's been... we've seen this happen now, since this campaign, and it can't keep carrying on. The little Caldente pivot cannot remain. I think bringing Taylor Hines in, as you say, the rotation is bizarre. Why would you rest Katie Reid against City in the WSL where she's comfortable to play Wooben Moy, who has played in these kind of matches before, just to play Reid ahead of her in the Champions League? Yeah. Why would you bring Taylor Hines in, who has never played Champions League football before, against the 8-time champions? It's just simple selection decisions that have really cost Arsenal today.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that have cost Arsenal. I mean, Jorge Oliver, a few people agree. Amy as well. Jill Sandwich saying Taylor Hines agree.
Yeah.
Not good enough for this level really. And then, it's just odd. Jenna Nicewonger hasn't got a look in this team, and yet Taylor Hines is starting today against OL Lyonnes. And it's just been fairly disastrous. This is a giveaway from Reed. So poor to head it down to Dumornay. Montenegro makes a good point now, saying I wish we could have seen Reed against City. Would better point out whether this is a one-time mistake or whether that's a pressure issue. As I say, it's difficult to say. Because of her age, you would naturally assume, a bit of an issue with pressure and the occasion. I think what we can say is Reed played United looked really comfortable, but the difference in that game was United weren't as aggressive in the press as Lyon have been and didn't come forwards as much as Lyon have. Yeah. And so Arsenal were dominant in that game, and so a lot of the defending was on the halfway line, up against Mallard, and she just won that physical battle. Tonight, every time Lyon come forwards, it's an incredibly dangerous footballer with many more incredibly dangerous footballers flanking them on either side. So, Lyon have just looked so dangerous every time they touch the ball, every time they come forwards. Arsenal's defence just don't know how to handle them. There's so much space in the pockets. Arsenal just getting pulled apart too easily, and there's so much space in there that Lyon are exploiting right now. Amy says we need McKay back, and Kelly doesn't make a difference when she always stays on the edge. Well, this is the problem. Kelly is great off the bench to run at tired defences, but as we see time and time again, when you start her in games like this, she doesn't have the same impact. Yeah, she's a great impact player, but she's just not a world-class starting quality player. And I forgot now who mentioned it, but Alex said £1 million on a footballer not to start her in a game like this. Olivia Smith. Yeah. Where is the involvement tonight? But this is the problem for Arsenal. Rotation is fine, but selection's been really interesting tonight. And the problem is you've got Taylor Hines, who's played a handful of minutes so far this season. She played 25 against United and 11 against West Ham. She's thrown in to start here, and 3 in the London City game, 3 in the Villa game. Didn't feature against City. That's the problem. You've got a lot of players like that in this Arsenal team. Chloe Kelly has only started one game this season. That was the London City game. Other than that, didn't make the squad for West Ham. Played 20 minutes against City, 20 minutes against United. So, I mean, that's slightly better. She has had minutes this season, but there isn't enough rotation. A lot of this side is players who played a lot of football already this season, and they've just been pulled apart. Arsenal don't look particularly strong. Yeah,
it's exactly that. Obviously, Peter will say that, yes, I agree, it's difficult to balance having to play Man City and then Lyon, but you could play 2 strong 11s in there if you think ahead and you rest in the other games. You don't rotate in these 2 games. The way you make up for it by people having to, if someone like a McCabe had to play these 2 games within 3 or 4 days of each other, the way you make up for it is by not playing Katie McCabe in a game where you're probably going to smash West Ham. That's exactly what they did. And again, you look at the other big clubs, for example. City haven't done it so much, but A, they're not in the Champions League, doesn't matter, and B, they've now had injuries, so they've now learnt their lesson. But United and Chelsea, the way United balanced the qualifiers and the WSL was brilliant. We saw Elizabeth Turland getting rests and things like that. Big players being dropped, being rested to get the max out of them. Chelsea have been chopping and changing the 11 all season really in the system, and that obviously I know Chelsea got again. We know Chelsea are very good at managing it, but the fact that United have stepped up into the UWCL this year, they had the added complication of qualifiers, and they've still balanced that rotation better than Arsenal have. Is a big criticism of Arsenal and how they're operating.
But it's funny because I think United have had the least rotations of any team in the WSL season because they've got so few players and they've got so few players on the bench. Yeah. But you still feel that way because they have been able to rotate Bizet in a few different roles. They've been able to use both Sandberg and George at left back. They've been able to introduce Jess Park very effectively. They've had Mallard and Turland rotating. They've had Fridley and Arolfo play left back and at left wing. So they've got players playing multiple positions. Arsenal just don't have that. They don't look as comfortable. They haven't tried anything else, though. That's the thing. Everyone's got a set position and that's it. But you don't see any rotation. It's just, the Arsenal squad is stronger than Slagers makes it look. But those players don't play, so they can't be involved. Phil says, can't play with Moy versus this Lyon team. But I think if Arsenal are looking at their centre-backs tonight and you go, well, Catley has struggled tonight. Reed struggled tonight. You wouldn't trust Ruben Moy. Cadena hasn't played. That is inherently then a problem, not only with rotation, but with quality. But I think that's, Arsenal, pound for pound, aren't as good as this Lyon team at all.
Well, yeah, I think that's
That's a big thing.
Yeah, that is the main thing that also has to be highlighted is that all these issues we're talking about with Arsenal, they are being highlighted massively because they're up against the quality of Lyon. If they're up against weaker opposition tonight, then they're probably in a better position. But it's just that again, you can't. It depends which way you look at it. Because if you look at it like that, then it will catch up to them in the games later down the season. So if you address the issues now and they get highlighted now, you can deal with them. And I think that has been the main. I think my main criticism isn't necessarily the issues that are there. It's been the reaction to them, and we haven't seen any change or difference. We see the pivot get caught out, and then we get to the next match for Arsenal, and it's the same two players. There doesn't seem to be.
We haven't got any options.
What does Kyra Cooney-Cross do? Genuinely, why doesn't she get to play football?
No, I agree. I think Cooney-Cross deserves an opportunity, but does she cut? Regardless of whether she could have played every minute so far this season, I don't put her into this game and think she does better than their midfield pivot. But that's inherently a problem with Arsenal. I still can't understand the rationale. We'll talk about this all season because it's the biggest issue. I can't understand the rationale by letting Leah Vouty leave with no replacement.
She was
brilliant. I know that you look at Vouty was really good earlier, wasn't she? I know we've spoken about this a lot, and Phil has made the good point. It's not what Slagers wants from a midfield, but it just doesn't work. You've got two players doing the same thing in there, and the amount of times that pivot has given the ball away under pressure because you haven't got anyone in there who's brilliant at resisting the press. So it's just been the same issue time and time again for Arsenal, and the simple fix was they need a defensive midfielder, but you can't do that now because it's October now. Will they act in January? We'll have to see. But I think if they don't, then they're asking for trouble. Yeah. They're already asking for trouble by letting a defensive midfielder leave, and they haven't done anything about it. But yeah, I mean, Palova could have gone in the pivot today. Probably would have looked better. And that gets Captain Tay higher up the pitch.
And that's my other criticism, is that they did that on Saturday and it looked better. So why on earth would you then go back to what wasn't working?
Because they lost and reactionary, isn't it?
But that's what. But the reason what Slagers did, she reacted to her initial reaction by just going back to what didn't work.
Yeah.
That's not how it should work. But also credit to Lyon and Graudes. It's exactly what Graudes does. He does his homework. He exploits weaknesses, and he takes world class players and goes at teams where they know they can be hurt and just completely tears them apart.
Absolutely.
It's good in the game.
A fantastic manager. If anyone was doubting it.
Yeah, if we see half-time changes from Arsenal and a bit and tactical tweaks here and there and bring on some different personnel, then 100% of the game. Katie McKay's still in a bib, so that's immediately problem not dealt with. How can you watch that first 45 minutes and not make a substitution?
I think this is the problem with Slagers overall, because she's a manager that is not even 12 months into a managerial career yet, or just coming up to her 1 year anniversary, is that she doesn't have all the answers. She doesn't have other ideas to fall back on. She hasn't got that tactical flexibility, and so when they are behind in games, they don't really have a way around it.
Yeah,
she's good when she's got time to prepare and plan. And you look at last year where they were behind in the first leg but came back in the second leg. But in 90 minutes, I'm struggling to think of a game where Arsenal conceded early and then fought back to win against a top opposition. I mean,
I don't think there's any changes for Arsenal. I mean, it's interesting, but as I said, they're still in the game. It could all change, but I think it's interesting. And that's the thing, it's really hard because it sounds like we're being harsh on Slagers, but we're judging her to the level that Arsenal fans and Arsenal Football Club want to be at.
Well, a team who's just won the Champions League.
Exactly.
That sets the expectations high.
Exactly. So you have to deliver that, and although it is harsh, because as you say, she's not been a manager for very long, but when you go out and win the Champions League, you then have to keep delivering. Yeah, Arsenal didn't turn up, win the Champions League last year, and then just expected to go back to mediocrity for a couple of years. They want to keep the pressure on and go and win trophies.
No changes for Arsenal at half time. It looks.
I mean, even if you don't change personnel for tactical reasons, you change personnel for errors and not being good enough. And
Rimple says, do you think maybe it's time for another keeper to start ahead of Daphne? Competition can be healthy. Can't have a keeper being too compliant. I assume you mean too... can't think of the word either myself now.
That's Andy.
Casual.
But then the problem is that Zinsberg will come and make one mistake and everyone will shoot her down again.
But might give Van der Sar confidence. Katoto to get us back underway in this game. That's back underway here at the Meadow Park Stadium in Boreham Wood. It's Arsenal 1, OL Lyonnes 2 to go into another 45 minutes of UWCL action. We're seeing a lot of goals across the games at this 8 p.m. slot. The only team, in fact, in the Champions League this season who haven't conceded are Paris FC. Ball in behind, looking for the run of Katoto, bearing it on goal, and that is well claimed by Van Damselaar.
Need a reaction. Arsenal got to start fast, got to get out quickly. And then if they do that, don't do it against City and just go back to being a bit flat. Need a reaction.
Yeah, you mentioned Sinsberg as well, but obviously Arsenal do have Anek Borga now, who could be that backup option, could get an opportunity at some point this season. Here is Renard, who sends it forwards. No one. Uncontested by Lyon. Headed forward by Little. Heaps. Now into Engen. Now here's Batcher. Didn't see loads from Engen, which is a good sign when you don't see loads from a centre-back. Oof. Not a great clearance from Endler. Batcher, though, wins it despite Kelly trying to push her off the pitch. Schrader's pass is poor, and now here come Arsenal. Little. Nowhere for her to go. Shifts it to Catley. Ball back now to Reeds.
I am intrigued to see how OL Lyonnes approach this second half.
Ball poked forwards. Here is Alessia Russo, holds it up well, tries to cut it back. And that looks like it's out of play, and it is for an Arsenal corner.
Better. 1-2 touch football, moving it between the lines, accurate passes, and getting a corner out of it. It's exactly what Arsenal need to do. Much better reaction. Just cut the mistakes out, get the ball on the floor, and play your football. That's exactly what they've done there, and they've got Russo onto the ball, and she's managed to win a set piece.
Indeed, now they can start to put Lyonnes under pressure, though. This is probably the one team you will struggle to score a corner against. Ball into the area towards the back post, headed down, chance for Arsenal, bounced in the box, dealt with by Schrader, still bouncing around. There's a good save from Endler in there.
Let off for OL Lyonnes, leaving Alessia Russo unmarked at the back post. Could have been very costly.
And now Schrader with space to drive into. Plays it down the line for Chewinga. And Kelly there, assertive in her defending.
Don't mind that. Again, just committed to it, won the ball. Didn't let it do it against Rounder there. Then Arsenal would have been in big trouble.
And it's a throw in now for OL Lyonnes.
But it's what Arsenal need to do. Be assertive in your defending. And you know, move the ball quickly when you get on the ball and come forward with danger.
Tarchiane, Catley knocks out of play. And now Tarchiane trying to see it out. Mead, though, slightly over-aggressive in her attempts to win back the ball. She shakes her head at the referee's decision.
Mead can do the sarcastic shake your head, smile and look up the sky every time she fouls Tarchiane. It is not going to make a difference. It's the same thing. What's I think frustrating as well is because she's doing the same thing every time and expecting a different result.
Another goal in the game between Barcelona and Bayern. And it's Barcelona 4, Bayern Munich 2.
What is happening? Sorry. Why is everyone forgot how to defend
No one can
tonight?
defend anymore.
Welcome to the 25-26 Champions League. We've got a new format and everyone's forgotten how to defend.
I think it's going to make for great fun, personally. If just no one can defend.
Finals, we like 5-4. It's a great game. Who scored, by the way?
That's all I'm waiting to find out.
Yeah, Lyon seemed to be a little more patient, less aggressive in this second half. Makes sense, they're leading. They're going to try to just take the sting out of the game a little bit, take the pace out of the game.
Similar great sign. Marmatovic is on a 4.3 rating with one error leading to goal. So she's passed it to one of the strikers or something.
Sounds
Oh,
right.
goal's been disallowed.
That's no fun.
Ref remembered who was playing. Is that Demetrescu by any chance? Not sure. Cleared away by Renard, looking for Katoto. Tries to head it on. A drop for Fox. Schrader will try and chase after her compatriot. And she does knock it out of play.
This isn't terrible for Arsenal. The game's just everyone's just settled in, which I think is what they need, because they're only a goal down. They don't need to go hell for leather right now.
Fox tries to flick it on past Chewinga. Here's Little. Ball out to the left-hand side. Taylor Hines lifts it in behind, and that'll run through to Endler. Engen. Now Batcher. Plays it in to Katoto. Batcher. Engen. And now Batcher down the line. And that will run all the way through. And Fox will knock it back to our goalkeeper Van Dorselaar. He will just lift it forwards. And it drops in there for Russo to head it on. Now Batcher. And all the way back to her goalkeeper, Endler. And Lyon hold the ball. Now they'll look to come forwards. Selma Batcher. Inside to Schrader. Heaps. Back to Engen. Dumornay. Schrader. Heaps. This Lyon move will never end.
Yeah, but this is what they need to do.
Engen.
Keep the ball. Just take the energy and pace out the game.
Controlling the game. 64% of the ball in the first 6 minutes here. Of this second half.
Yeah. This is a professional job so far from OL Lyonnes.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think it's only going to get more difficult when you look at their bench.
Yeah.
With Vicky Becko, Eula Brands, Ada Hegerberg,
Eula Brand
Lily Johannes
is absurd.
Liana Joseph as well, the young forwards. But yeah, I mean Lyon's bench team probably wins the Champions League. Who's up there?
You stick any of those three in the front line, it still looks incredibly
Back line of
dangerous.
Svava, Nelhager, Lawrence, and Solbath isn't half bad.
No.
Now we have got a goal in Paris FC OH Leuven, and it is a goal back for OH Leuven. Paris FC 2, OH Leuven 1.
What a moment on their debut. A historic goal for OH Leuven. What a switch that is to Batcher.
And can actually come with a delivery. Ball in. Reed doesn't deal. But Hines gets it clear. And now it's back with Engen. And OL Lyonnes settling back into possession. Gerardo Arac, welcome to the stream, said Vamos Arsenal. Well, they need that sort of gusto. And it's now picked off there by Chloe Kelly. Pour out the back from Lyon. Marnham lets it go to Mead, who shifts it to Calais on the edge. Can she strike it? She can! A great stop from Christine Endler. Denies over the palm. Over the bar. But this is much better from Arsenal. A little clunky, but it works. And Mariona Caldente with a tidy shot. Denied well by Christine Endler.
Too much time for a player of her quality. Lyon got away with one there. Really good stop from Endler. But again, Caldente from that kind of range is always going to trouble Arsenal corner though.
Ball in, punched away by Endler, and then cleared away by Tashiane. Fox into Hines. The live chat starting to believe again in Arsenal. But that move broken down by Hines trying to control the football.
Yeah, just touch escaped that, panicked, and committed the foul. Just pulling Batcher back. And a reaction, here we go then. Double Arsenal change. This is what it needed. And yeah, both changes in the winger positions.
Yeah, bit of energy into the game, but it's the same changes every week. They just rotate between wingers. It's good to see Smith on the left at least.
Yes.
That is a miracle. But yeah, Mead and Kelly offer Smith and Ford. But yeah, it's the same things every week, but they just go to similar profile of winger. Ball in behind. It's a bit of a mess. Van Donster off our line well, though. That's a ball from Arsenal in behind their own back line.
That's a good point. When are we going to see different winger combinations? Like Smith and Mead, or, Smith or
Yeah,
Kelly.
which would probably work better. Smith and Kelly have tried, but they put Kelly on the left. It doesn't make any sense. There's another goal in the Barcelona game, and it's Barcelona 5, Bayern 1.
What is the point? Like, just...
Payol with our second of the game.
What a ball that is.
Held up well. Here is Dumoulin, who will strike it. It's blocked. It bounced around. Katoto tries to aim it goalwards, but it's wide of the mark.
Catley's got away with one there because she did not look up where the ball was once. No. And to be honest, it worked in the end because it forced Katoto to shoot wide, but she was just always was worrying about where Katoto was going to be. He probably should have done better with that. Just kind of lays it off to the sideboard.
Can Arsenal's fresh injection in the wide areas then do anything as they come forward? It's up in the air. It'll drop now for Little, who loses out to Schrader. Reed gets it down well. And now it's Fox, who will lift it in behind. Flicked on by Russo, who will now run after Engen. It's offside again against Alessia Russo.
The Arsenal winger double change isn't going to work unless they touch the football. That's from the gut at the moment.
True.
Again, that looks pretty tight. I think Russo's a bit unlucky because she does so well, by the way, to get the flick on. And she has to flick it onto herself because no one else is up there with her. And it was probably a bit unlucky that the flag went up.
Marnham into Russo. Touched it back to Marnham. Tidy footwork. Ball in. Head away by Tachiani. Now Calente. Can she get it under her control? She can. Lifts it through into Ford. Ford now wants to take on Batcher. And now it's back to Fox. Little. Catley. Out wide now. Into Olivia Smith. Tries to cut inside. Goes back to Reed. Post through the lines into Marnham. Back to Fox. And that is cleared away.
Again, trying to get service to Russo, who managed to get something on it, but that was never going anywhere near the goal. Having to run backwards. She is feeding off scraps of Alessia Russo up there. And it's a shame for Arsenal because when they've got the ball, she scored tonight. If they get her into a good opportunity, they give her something to work with, Russo will make it dangerous. But she's had very little to go off tonight since the goal.
Dumoulin heads it through the lines and Diani times the run well. Here come OL Lyonnes. Plays it across. It's just in front of Chewinga. She'll keep it alive though. But she's offside.
Yeah, flag does go on Diani. Looked to be tight. But
Becca says, why take Kelly off? Didn't touch the ball for 50 minutes. Honestly, had so little involvement in that first half. They needed a change. But yeah, I think that's the problem is Kelly's the kind of player you want to bring on 60.
It's the wrong way around. You don't want to start Kelly for 60 and then bring Smith on for 30. You want to start Smith for 60.
Start Smith, let her run at players, then bring Kelly on when they're tired. Kelly hasn't tired anyone out, but she hasn't touched the ball. Yeah. That's just not broken a sweat. Apart from when she goes forward with no concern about the space she's leaving behind. Renard. Endler back to Renard. Lyon moving the ball so well. Last one just chasing shadows. That's good from Reed, though. Assertive on Katoto.
It's just professional from OL Lyonnes. You know, they're not trying to overcomplicate things. You know, they're being smart about it. They're just shifting the ball. And you know, they're just doing well to manage it. It's exactly what the best sides in the world do.
Amy says, why take Kelly off? She's our creative player. Yeah, it's probably because she created zero chances in the first half. Here's Chewinga takes aim. Not the best time to take the shot, and she does get a few groans from her teammates.
If you're going to shoot from there, you got to hit the target. Just dragged it along the floor and dragged it past the post. Good defending from Fox once again. Emily Fox is one of those defenders that just consistently puts in a 6, 7 out of 10 performance, no matter what happens in the game.
I see. Ball forwards. Chested down well by Hines, looking for Smith. Pass isn't great. Back to Hines. Now Caldente. Little. Back to Caldente. Currently splitting the centre halves is Mariano Caldente.
Crazy.
Hines. Ball in behind. Not a great one. No, that's through to Endler.
Big half an hour coming up for Arsenal, especially. Again, they haven't looked bad, but there just hasn't been any fight. There's no been no spark in this second half performance. Better from Fox wins it back off Chewinga.
Ball through the lines into Russo. Looks for the cutback, but it's dealt with well by Tachiane.
Again, no support. Russo is just had to just put it in there and hope that someone's going to get there.
Yeah.
Again, Russo just be offside. I'm not sure about that one again, to be honest. I think that's a pretty tight one. She's probably a bit unlucky again. Not that it matters, because she keeps getting into positions and no one's there to help her.
Endler. Now Engen. Here is Schrader, holds onto the ball well. Now out to the right-hand side. Diani tries to pick out Katoto. Little gets it though. Turned over high by Diani. And she's dragged down in there. And Little just caught trying to play out.
At this point in the match, you're the captain of the team, you're an experienced player. Why is she trying to dribble out of her own penalty area?
There's not space for her. There's under so much pressure.
That was never going to work. But yeah, and Lyon with a free kick. And it's one of those where, yes, and Arsenal haven't been under as much pressure in this second half, but that's more because Lyon are controlling the game. Because Arsenal haven't troubled the leaders either. It's just been Lyon on the ball and just seeing this game through.
Change now for OL Lyonnes. And that is the end of Tabitha Chewinga's evening. And on comes, which there are many brilliant players. Not sure. It's Vicky Becker, I think. No, Joseph. Change then for Lyon in the forward line.
What a downgrade, eh?
Young forward.
Good opportunity for her to get involved in this game.
Yeah, only 19 years old. Hasn't played too much top level football. Here? Has looked sharp in the Premier League.
That was so bizarre.
Premier League.
Two players over it for Lyon. One of them dummied it, then one of them laid it into Diani, who had made a short run, and then she just had a shot from out the edge of the D that went sailing over.
Yeah.
I mean, if she wraps her foot around it, it's a wonder goal, but the whole point of doing a free kick routine is it makes the free kick easier to score. And that didn't. I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, D1A
wins out of the pitch again. She's breaking away from Caldente into the box. Squares it. Katoto wide of the mark.
Wow.
Another big chance missed for Mary Antoinette Katoto this evening. He's had a few.
Yeah. That's a let off for Arsenal. It was Catley caught on the ball by Dumoulin. Again, trying to dribble it out. And that is not a bad ball across either. And Katoto just pokes it.
I think she needs to leave it there. It's going to fall for Jo.
Yeah.
Oh, she's far.
Or just put it in the goal. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Just pokes it straight in front of her.
Jojo, by the way, played 30 minutes against RC Lons off the bench and scored a hat-trick.
It's not bad, that.
At the weekend. Now, obviously, that is not representative of any quality, but in terms of opponent, but yeah, really impressive feat.
Yeah.
Arsenal now with a free kick.
Yeah. Bit of issue for both players here.
And this is worrying for Lyon as they call over the medics quickly. And it is the youngster, Joseph, who's holding her knee. And that is concerning. The way she's gone down there. Wasn't a lot of contact.
No. Just collides with Marnham, commits the free kick and may have done herself some damage.
Kulikarski asking where is Eula on the bench. Lyon don't need her tonight.
Yeah.
They're already winning. They probably will bring her on for Diani. I think she'll probably cause even more problems.
Yeah, they've got
For Hines.
It's an incredible lineup. Oh, they could play any of the 5, 6, 7 attackers they've got on the pitch, and it would cause problems.
This is concerning though for Joseph. Looked like the knee, and obviously we know the epidemic of ACL injuries in the women's game. Alex says, I think Damaris is better than Schrader, undoubtedly. But, yeah. I think that's really a debate.
Important break, though, this for Arsenal. 25 minutes to play, only trailing by a goal, but still need some sort of response. It feels like it's been a while since this opening goal from Alessia Russo that was brilliantly taken. But since then, Russo really has not had much to work with. But there's still time for Arsenal to get ourselves back in this game. Lyon are dictating the tempo and are in control, but still only lead by a goal, and that is always dangerous in football. And even when you are in control of the game, all it takes is one opportunity, and Arsenal will be right back in this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing with it being such a narrow lead. It would be quite a smash and grab victory, but Arsenal are now ready to change it. Stina Blacksenius. Let's play the guessing game. Will this be Russo off, or is this going to be 4 up front?
No, it's going to be Marnham off, and it's going to be either 4 up front against Lyon, which is crazy, or it's going to be Russo in the 10 again, which are both not good ideas.
Yeah.
Well, Michelle Kang looks like she's having fun with Emma Hayes. That's a weird combination.
Watching the US players who are playing in this game, where you've got Emily Fox, you've got Corbin Schrader. And this is concerning for Joseph, the way she's coming off. Hegerberg goes and consoles her, but that is a huge concern. Hopefully a speedy recovery, but that looked like an ACL injury. So a double change now for OL Lyonnes, and we will see Eula Brand in this game. And Damaris Egarola, the other change. Imagine that will probably be Schrader or Heaps.
I mean, this is where strength in depth is absolutely vital.
Yeah.
You made
Lindsay Heaps.
Yeah, you've made a winger change. You've bought off Chewinga. You've brought on Joseph. You've had to come off, and then you replace her with Eula Brand.
Oh my God. Paris FC 2, OH Leuven 2.
Wow.
What a result that could be if they can hold on to that draw.
25 minutes away from a point on their Champions League debut.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That could be massive for them.
Sara Pushtai with the goal.
What a moment for them.
After Kim Eviet's early strike.
Oh, Caroline Taylor, that was poor.
Goal back.
Takes the free kick and just drills it across the floor at the first player.
And now here come Lyon. Brand poking it towards Diani. And now, where will Lyon go? Diani takes it past Fox, cuts back, ball into the box, chance for Lyon. It's cleared away by Arsenal. And Batcher tries to keep the move alive. Renard. Engen into Batcher. Back to Ingrid Engen. Schrader. Now Engen across to Renard. Here's Tacciani. Egarola. Dumornay. Lovely drop of the shoulder and drive forwards. Smith tries to bring her down. It falls to Schrader, though, who will take aim. A tame effort and a comfortable save. That was phenomenal from Dumornay again. She's been excellent tonight. Yeah. She played in that role in the second leg of the semi-final last season, in that attacking midfield role, and it didn't work. But tonight, phenomenal in there.
Yeah. Guerrales gets it right. I am stunned.
Batcher. Back now to Schrader. Batcher brought down in there. Varge wasn't even played, though. Ball out to the right-hand side. And another goal for Barcelona. 6-1 against Bayern. That is embarrassing.
That's just ridiculous.
Absolutely embarrassing for Bayern.
And what are they doing? You know you're playing Barcelona. You set up.
I've got no doubts the Barca are good, but that is not representative. What the hell have Bayern done in that game?
Yeah, you set up and you play in a certain way. That is not good
Irene
enough.
Paredes with the 6th.
Not good enough from Bayern Munich whatsoever.
No.
I thought that was be a really close game, just like this one.
I thought it'd be a really good contest. I thought
Yeah.
Bayern, are in a position now where they've got the squad to compete as one of the top 5 teams in this competition, but absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
The problem is Bayern will probably then give the game to some of these other teams. I mean, it remains to be seen, but it's just the way teams fold against Barcelona. Here is Batcher, great drive forwards, options to her left and right, plays it across to Eula Brand. Now Melchior Dumonet, it's blocked, and Little wins it back.
Lyonnes still pushing, still only though leading by a goal. If they get another goal, that will kill it off. You feel just the way they've dictated it, but you just think one Arsenal attack, anything could happen, a penalty, a corner, something. But what a drive this was from Batcher, from left back to right midfield almost. Well worked and a big block from Catley.
It's been disallowed.
Dumonet and cut back and Arsenal on the charge.
Rousseau looking for the cut back. Here's Little on the edge. Now Caldente. Back to Rousseau. Ball in. Cleared away. Smith heads to Blackstenius. And it's one back by Diani. Brand. One high here by Caldente. Back to Olivia Smith. Shifts it to Rousseau. One back though by Schrader. And now Eula Brand. Sends it up the line, and that's something for the Lyon forwards to chase. It falls to Catley. Actually, Bayern conceded 0 goals in 5 league games. And now they've conceded 5 tonight.
It's crazy.
At least they scored.
They did. I thought bad start. Buell got it. Put them back where they need to be. Game on, and then
Yeah.
It went 3-2 as well, didn't it? They got disallowed.
What a different game it could have been.
Yeah.
Went 4-2.
4-2.
Yeah, 4-1 then 4-2. But alas, that one has been disallowed. Players
Smith
won't.
looks at Russo again. Just can't find it. Lyon are doing so well to just isolate Russo up there. She really cannot do much with what she's got to work with. And Batcher again on the charge, intercepts it.
Tries to switch the play. It's cut out. Drops now for Batcher. Again. And she'll drive out to the left-hand side. Ford will try and keep up with her. Batcher goes back into Schrader. Into Agarola, sorry. Now it's Engen. Cross to Renard. Tarciano. Schrader. Agarola. And now it's Engen. Alex says, I reckon Arsenal get a nasty 2-2 in the 89th minute. Yeah, I'm surprised Lyonnes haven't scored again. They've definitely toned things down in this second half, but you'd have thought they'd just wanted to get another goal, put the game out of sight. Here is Diani. Dumonet. Back to Diani, who takes aim. That's straight down the throat of Van Donselaar.
I think would it not be better? I'm not going to try and challenge Geraldes on this one because they've come out, they've slowed the game down, just dictated it and tried to take the buzz out of the match. But surely it makes more sense to come out the second half, try and kill it off, and then see it out. Because if you go for the game early on in the second half and you get caught out and concede, you've got more time to then.
They've had 59% possession, 8 shots to 3, 2 on target to 2 on target. One big chance, Arsenal haven't created any big chances. They've still been great going forwards or dominating the game.
Limited Arsenal to nothing. They've had nothing to work with Arsenal in the second half.
Yeah. And if OL Lyonnes put a few more of their efforts on target, Arsenal have done well defensively, to be fair, but if they put a few more on target, they probably would have scored.
I think Arsenal shored up, but at the consequence of now not being able to find an equaliser.
Change now for Arsenal. They've taken off their best creative player, Mariona Caldente.
She struggled tonight, but that's because you cannot play Caldente in a pivot against sides like this.
I see. I just don't see the point. It's such a waste of our talents. And then Stina Blackstenius on for Alessia Russo.
What's happening there? Slager's just bought off Russo and Caldente. She's
bought off her best goal scorer and best creator when they need a goal. But maybe they'll get Blackstone in behind to Lyon.
Maybe.
All they've got to do is get the ball back into their own half.
I agree they both didn't play well, but that's not through fault of their own. I mean, Russo still played well. She had a goal, but she had no service.
Yeah, it's good to see CUNY cross, but 15 minutes. Can she impact the game? We'll have a look. We'll wait and see. And changes now for OL Lyonnes, and that is Ada Hegerberg and Lily Johannes.
Ada Hegerberg's your backup striker.
Lily Johannes doesn't start as a field. It's ridiculous.
Brand's the third choice winger. Third choice right winger.
And one American for another as Corbin Schrader is replaced by Lily Johannes. Now as American on the pitch that Emma should seriously be looking at. Fox. Little. Johannes knocks out of play. Is Fox. Throws down the line looking for Ford. Strong from Selma Batcher. And that comes off Black. So it's that play for a Lyon throw.
Brilliant from Batcher again. What another really good performance. She's just absolutely everywhere.
Yeah. Ball bounce around in there. Reed tries to deal with it. Oh, dealt by Fox. Now CUNY cross.
They swore. It's like the way that OL Lyonnes just swarm the ball and put you under so much pressure.
Catley looking to find Smith on the left-hand side.
Silly.
That's yeah.
Silly from Tatiana. Didn't need to do that. Smith's not going anywhere, and she just barges into it. Really.
She tries to preempt it.
Yeah.
Her movement, but yeah, Smith does well to buy it. To be fair.
Yeah, Smith just moves that leg across, and then puts her body in between Tatiana and the ball. So Tatiana just takes her out.
Yeah.
Would have helped if they'd had that for the last 60 minutes running at her rather than watching Beth Mead just get angry and keep fouling her and then get angry even more when she fouled her.
So Arsenal now with this free kick and a chance to threaten from a set piece. The ball floated in, headed away. And now here comes Diani. Driving it forwards. Out now to the left-hand side. It's Johannes. Not to switch the play. Headed away by Catley.
Oh,
and now Smith tries to chip it past Tacciane, who admits fault and is booked. And she can't believe it's a yellow card. I mean, that is harsh. She's admitted there. She didn't need to admit it. That wouldn't have been given if she didn't admit that. And the rest booked her for it. An unintentional handball. Unbelievable. There we go.
Oh yeah, I have no words. I didn't think it was a handball. I'm not really sure why she's admitted to doing it.
It did hit her hand.
Yeah,
it's down by her side, but yeah, she admitted it. Let it. That's just weird. Here's Diani. Lily Johannes. That's knocked out of play. Just tried to go into Brand. Misplaced it though.
Leon, just got to be careful.
David says if they lose this match, it'll be 4 matches without a win. They're going to Brighton on Sunday, and I really don't view that as a favourable fixture.
What,
Brighton are so good
exactly.
against top teams.
Why are Arsenal losing in this game? Because they've made errors under pressure from a good pressing side. What do Brighton and Vidic love to do? They're the best, some of the best pressing in the OSL.
Yeah.
And if Frank Kirby's back, then that is going to be a very interesting game.
I think the only thing that could sway it is that Brighton do play a high line, and I would say Arsenal are much better against teams that play high lines.
And
so they have struggled tonight.
I'm guessing Adjumane and Kafaji can't play.
Fantastic point, yeah.
So that does deplete.
So Arsenal, Brighton are only strikers.
Yeah, right. Basically, what Arsenal have done is just given Brighton over players.
Make sure Brighton are a really difficult team for everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who they're going to play.
Yeah, Kiko, Seike, Pauline.
Any person on the right.
Not Bremer. Who's
that? Have Pauline Bremer.
Yeah, I forgot about her. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of someone else. Well, Arsenal have got to try and get something out of this game first, and then they'll look towards Brighton. Ford there brings down Batcher, who again has worked very, very hard
Madison Haley, Carla
Oh, yeah.
Camacho,
Oh,
Masaka,
they'll be all right.
Kiko Seike, yeah.
Big 10 minutes now. The last thing, and again, also, we predict and we know that we expect all the big sides to return to the top four, but it's all about timing of these games, and this isn't a nice one. And suddenly, Arsenal, you do end up on 0 after match week 1. You're then under pressure.
All in, bounces around, and Arsenal do deal with it. And there is either an offside or a free kick, and I think it's an Arsenal free kick.
That's an absolute letter for Lyon because Arsenal were breaking away. Why would you give
Arsenal
Arsenal?
not complaining, but there you go. We have 10 minutes to go in this one. If you are new to the channel, have enjoyed today's stream and haven't yet subscribed, make sure to do so. We started this day at 5.7k. We are now only 20 subscribers away from 5.9k. So if you are new, haven't hit subscribe yet, make sure to do so. We massively appreciate it. Arsenal now playing forwards. Cooney cross, cut out by Egarola. Here's Hegerberg. Johannes back to Hegerberg. One back low by Arsenal. And it's Catley out towards the right-hand side. Batcher chests it down well.
It is just not Daphne Van Domstar's evening there. Slips over as she tries to kick it long.
It's not been a season, to be fair.
No.
Engen. Batcher there.
Brilliant.
Does well against Ford, who put in a fairly wild challenge. Slagers is the player that brings that down for Arsenal. Fox.
Stick your hair on there at this point.
Through the lines there with a tidy pass from Egarola. Lily Johannes into Dumonet, looking dangerously on.
Switch it.
So good. Heinz, though, gets in front of that ball over the top. Tidy from Egarola, back to Dumonet, who opens up the space for a shot, and that one, though, is a good save from Van Domslar.
Yeah. Does well to get two hands behind that. Easy play, really. Textbook for Van Domslar. And that's a better clearance. That's what she tried to do the first time. But again, you're going long to Smith, who's up against Tarchiani. And that is the benefit of having a centre-half out there at right-back, is that aerial duel is going to be won by Tarchiani every single time.
Yeah. So, ball forwards. Brought down well by Engen. Here's Batcher. Back to Engen. Good control in there from Brand, who shifts it inside to Johannes. Back to Jule Brand. Down the line into Lily Johannes. Can OL Lyonnes find a third goal? Ball in there. Looks for Hegerberg. Headed wide. And that is out for a goal kick.
Yeah, bit too forceful in there from Hegerberg. Did she just push? Heinz does well, gets the right side of it. I mean, why is Heinz the one on Hegerberg? That's not how that should work. And then, yeah, just pushes Catley over. She goes up for the header. This is where Lyon want it. Ball in Arsenal's penalty area. It's not going to hurt them being up there.
Egarola. Touches on to Batcher. Into Lily Johannes.
Oh.
Brand. Looks to drive forward and down. There's a yellow card there for Frida Marlin.
That's all good and well, but I'm not really sure why that stopped the Lyon move. They were knocking the ball around lovely. Didn't actually see what happened. I was too busy watching the brilliant football. Just plays the ball and...
That is bizarre because she just thumped into off the ball.
What's going on there? Like, I know we see it from McKay from time to time, but why are we now seeing it from players like Marnham? That's silly.
It's become an Arsenal thing.
Yeah.
Kelly did it against City loads. Yeah. Off the ball, just smashing into people, nudging into people.
Oh, and even Slagers now.
Slagers will pick up a yellow for complaining about her player barging into someone and getting booked for it. We're assuming Slagers could be anyone on the Arsenal bench. Not 100% sure though. Slagers had sat down.
True.
Batcher. Across now to Renard, who tries to go direct towards Diani. Drops in there for Damaris Egarola. Tarchiani. Great win in there from Taylor Hines, who jumped in front, and now she's driving forwards. Lays it to Cooney Cross. I'm not sure Cooney Cross is aware of that arrangement. Hines again. And Damaris Egarola wins it back.
It's interesting mentality, isn't it, from Arsenal? It's something I'm also starting to notice this year. Is that when they go this season so far, when they have been up against it, there just doesn't seem to be a reaction of let's go again, let's be strong and keep going. It seems I'm going to spit my dummy out. And
But did we not see that for Arsenal last season?
yeah,
You look at games like Brighton and Villa at the end of the campaign where they went behind and just got thrashed. You look at the top level matches last season, like where they conceded a few goals, and they're really good and resilient when the game's on their side.
Yeah.
Or the game's net level. But once they concede and go behind, there is a bit of a mentality issue there.
Like on Saturday, even when they came out in the second half against City and reacted really quickly, they then just died down again.
Yeah, I don't know if that was mentality or just tactics. That's the other impact. Obviously, I don't think Slagers is very good at changing things up.
True.
So when they're winning, yeah, everything's great. But when they're losing, does she have the answers?
You just notice it. You just notice it today. I mean, Marlon there's just barged into Batcher off the ball. Me just kept complaining all the time, and she kept giving free kicks away.
Yeah. Arsenal number one last change. It's Taylor Hines coming off, and it will be Katie McCabe on to left back for the last 5 minutes, looking to create some chances.
I mean, yeah, it's going to create some chance they can draw the game, but if they now don't, that is a bizarre change. Because why throw... Today, the whole point behind Hines was rest McCabe. Why throw McCabe out there for 5 minutes?
Yeah, I don't think it's too bad. She's not going to be... This 5 minutes doesn't mean she's now not going to want to play Brighton.
Yeah, I know, but it just breaks the principle of rotating.
Yeah, play 5 minutes, playing 9 minutes are very different. She's still rotating.
Yeah.
And Little there brought down by Johannes, and that will be a free kick. 5 minutes left. There's still time in this game. Arsenal don't seem to realise that.
But that's the problem. Because it's been so flat, we're not sat here going, it's still 2-1, anything can happen, because they've done nothing in the second half.
Yeah, I've got chances, yeah. Since I spoke about the stats about 10-15 minutes ago, they had one other shot. Not on target.
Still no big chance in the second half.
Barca have got a 6.
Wow. You're trailing the game. You're only 2-1 down. You're still in the game, 1 goal, but you don't create a single big chance in the second half. Maybe they can do that now. Smith. It's haphazard, but it works.
Cooney cross tries to play it through the lines. Back now to Fox. And it's out towards Olivia Smith. One back in there. And sent down the line by Batcher. Now we'll go through to Reed. Claudia Peanut with the 6th goal.
6-1. Wow.
Batcher into Agarola. Tarchiane, that's a little bit wild in there. Headed on though by Agarola towards Dumoulin. You just can't quite get through that cluster of bodies. And I'm not sure who the foul's been given against. It's the Lyon free kick.
I think it was Cooney Cross to just scoop it forwards accidentally. But again, takes more time out of the game, Lyon. Still a bit of very controlled manner in this second half.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen a side 2-1 down and just seem to not go for the game and not create anything.
Batcher. Johannes. Tries to go through the lines. It's cut out. Smith then brought down by Lily Johannes.
Well, Arsenal are going to need a bit of added time here to give them something to work with.
There's no excitement.
No, it's so flat. They're chasing the game and it is so flat.
Gillars is the fullback position of vulnerable spot for the England national team in the near future. We'll do a video on this. Not to worry about right back because we've got players like Ella Morris coming through, but left back is the big one. There's no left-footed players in the England women's national team. Even the right backs that we've played in recent years aren't left-footed. So that's why Alex Greenwood played that the last one. McKay, ball in. Punched away by Endler, not convincingly. Little skews it to Catley. Now McCabe, can she deliver it? Ball in. Head away by Renard. Hegerberg flicks it on to Dumoulin. Manages to get it back. And then the ball down the line. Doesn't stay in. Tarchiane, Johannes to Hegerberg. Great challenge from McCabe. And Lyon just kill it. Slowing this game down, killing it off. You
Credit-
wouldn't think Arsenal are the team that need a goal because there's no urgency.
No. Credit to Graves and Lyon because
6 minutes
they've got it spot on.
of additional time, more than enough time for another goal. But are Arsenal going to try and get it? Lovely going to go to Hegerberg and Diani. Pass inside now to Dumornay. Loses out in there to McCabe. And now Arsenal come forwards. Vaxenius tries to find Smith. Well won by Batcher. Tarciano. Tarciane down the line into Diani. And it's back again to Tarciane. Pass inside to Johannes. Renard. Garola, give and go with Tarciane. And a 1-2 with Dumornay. And now it's back to Renard. And here's Brand as the overlapper. Batcher will cut inside, tries to shift it. It's brought down. That is fortunate. Just shifted the ball and ran into Smith. It was a pass that's going to no one. She just ran into Smith.
Yeah, that's not a free kick. She passed it to no one. So they just collide. There's nothing in that at all.
And Bayern have conceded again. It's Barcelona 7, Bayern Munich 1.
7-1.
And it's Claudio Pina again.
I don't think OH Leuven will concede that many. Because they'd play it smart. They'd sit deep.
It's embarrassing.
Genuinely, what have Bayern Munich done? Have they just forgotten to play? Have they gone for the game and just been torn apart?
Mum thought it was on a 2.9 rating.
That...
I saw higher at the Sidemen charity match.
Yeah.
Johannes in towards the back post. Cross goal, and it's claimed by Van Domselaar.
A bit of urgency might help Van Domselaar there. You're losing, and she's booted it, and it's fallen straight to Eula Brand.
Well, my team hasn't got a single contribution, by the way.
Wow.
She's played 81 minutes in a 7-1 win. Not a contribution.
She's probably sat on the floor having a... Yeah.
Let's make Brooks with a goal and 2 assists. Putas a goal and 2 assists. Pay all the brace. Pina off the bench with a brace.
And that's why they don't have to rotate. Because Bonmati can just, you can just coast when you're 7-1 up.
Well, it helps that they beat Ibar at the weekend with 17-year-olds on the pitch and Paraluelo at left back.
How are you losing? Oh, yeah.
And they won 4-0.
Only 4.
Well, yeah, because they played a load of 17-year-olds.
They're struggling.
They're struggling. Marta Torreon played.
This is the least urgent I've ever seen a team that are one goal down in a Champions League match.
You think it was 1-0 and no one, group game, no one's like asked. Oh, Arsenal going to get a goal?
Try and win the football match.
Yeah.
The last thing Arsenal want to do is find themselves... I know we're only one match league win. Obviously, everyone's got to play sides different. But the last thing you want to do is not pick up points in the early stage and then find yourselves outside the top 4. Because that just adds an extra 2 games that they do not need.
Absolutely.
So it's games like this that could make the difference. Especially, goal difference, it doesn't matter because they're losing by 1. Barcelona are going to top the league on goal difference.
Well, I've already beat everyone at this rate.
Yeah.
Ball in. Drops down.
Oh,
goal, and it's wide.
That's a penalty.
VAR, we'll have a look. We have got it in operation tonight. I imagine it's just a bloke with a phone. Is there a check?
Yeah, I'd like to have a look at that one, please.
Referee says there is.
And what a lifeline this could be.
Ball in.
Oh, I think it is,
Is it? Players being
they're
stopped.
still waiting.
I imagine they'll get the referee to go and have a look at the screen. McCutton to Endler, like she's about to take the goal kick.
She is.
She's now.
Maybe I saw it wrong.
I didn't think there was any contact there with the hand. If there was, it didn't have any meaningful impact on the ball. Garola. Diani. And that's cut out well by McCabe. Cooney cross now. minute to play, puts it in behind, blocked by Tachiano. Alex says anyway, Barcelona top of the group has lost to Chelsea. Well, they could lose to St. Paulton.
That'd be it, wouldn't they? They go smash Bayern Munich 7-1 and...
No, they got Leuven.
Look, okay, I'll tell you right now, and everyone's watching, Barcelona will score less against Leuven than they have tonight against Bayern Munich.
I just don't agree.
I do, because Leuven will be smart about it. They'll sit in, they'll just defend.
I think it could happen. Like, they could lose 6-0, but I think they'll probably lose 8-0.
No. Are they still drawing, by the way?
Hey. Yeah, Leuven got a point at the moment.
They're still on for a point on their Champions League debut.
That's gone into...
That's incredible.
Added time. Actually, that's not a pen now, says FC Lammy, says no penalty. Cleared away. Arsenal trying to make something happen. The dying embers of this game, but they're not coming forwards.
No. It has been so flat in the second half, and that is it.
And there we go. Full time whistle here at Meadow Park. Arsenal, for the 4th consecutive game, fail to win. Arsenal 1, OL Lyonnes 2. The goals from Melchi Dumornay, a brace, cancelling out Rousseau's and then going on to give them the lead and ultimately the win. Not good enough from Arsenal tonight. Couldn't handle Lyonnes in attacking areas. Couldn't attack them with much threat, especially in the second half. And yet more defensive errors, giving goals to oppositions. But yeah, not a great performance from Arsenal tonight. The inquiry continues into their performances of late. And yeah, they're now, you know, they've lost to Lyon now. It's a pot 1 team. It won't matter too much in total. But what it does leave already is doubt about Arsenal later in this competition. You'd still say they should be fine. They should beat their pot 2 and obviously the pot 3 teams. But you would expect now that, you know, are they at that level again to compete with Lyon, to compete with Barcelona, to compete with Chelsea, and even Bayern, even if they lost 7-1 tonight?
Yeah, it's pressure. It's what it's done now. It's put pressure on them, not only to go out and beat those other sides in the league phase, but as you say, to then come back in the knockouts and deliver against the sides like Lyon. It's the question being Brighton this weekend is absolutely massive now.
Join us live for that game. Triple up on Sunday. Looking forward to that WSL.
That's a must-win.
Triple head, absolutely.
If they drop points in that, I think that there's got to be a lot of questions asked about what they are going to achieve this season. Because, you know, if they bounce back and win that game, that's fair enough. But that was so flat. They were trailing the game since the 23rd minute. And in that second half, they didn't create a single big chance.
5 attempts on target to 11. 12 attempts in total to Lyon's 25.
Not good enough.
9 saves for Van Domselaar. She made 2 mistakes, but other than that, 9 saves. You know, did really well. But you make those mistakes, and that's the problem, really, isn't it? Amy says, thanks for the live stream chat. Thank you for joining us, Amy. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in to the streams, especially the people that join us for both games this evening. It's great to be back with Champions League action. It's great to see so much support on the streams. If you are new and this is your first ever watch along with us, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. Join us some more. We're back for more Champions League action. Tomorrow we've got a double header heading your way. Chelsea FC 20 at 5:45. And then we've got, I'm really looking forward to it, Wolfsburg taking on PSG as the 8 o'clock game. And obviously we're keeping tabs on Man United as they kick off their first ever Champions League campaign. So looking forward to tomorrow night. Join us for that. Ryden says thanks to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Phil says thanks. Thank you all for joining us. We're back with more tomorrow, but that is everything from us today. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.